So today let's talk about 10 under the radar SPACs and what makes them so unique and worth considering for your portfolio. Alright, so the first one is GIK, which is going public with Lightning eMotors, a commercial electric vehicle company that is developing delivery vehicles as well as charging infrastructure for those commercial vehicles. For them to be valued under $1 billion and for the stock price to be under $13, I think makes it under the radar, especially when compared to some of their competition and the fact that they're already taking orders, that they're already manufacturing and delivering those orders, that some of their customers include Amazon and DHL, and the fact that I think commercial electric vehicle delivery solutions, as well as public transportation, it's a massive untapped market. I expect we'll see GIK make a run up just like we saw with Hyliion or SPE, because this is clearly an under the radar and undervalued SPAC. So next up I want to talk about VGAC, which is the Virgin Galactic SPAC, Richard Branson's own personal SPAC. Now this is a relatively new SPAC, so we don't have much to go off of here. But as I've talked about in recent videos, there's a lot of indicators pointing to Envision being the pick, and I think it'd be a massive success. So I'm definitely watching VGAC. I definitely expect some big things out of this one, and it's one I think you should have on your radar as well. Similar to Virgin Galactic, another company that is looking to specialize in aerospace is Momentus, who's looking to become a satellite company and focus on space infrastructure. They're going public under the ticker SRAC, and I'm really excited by their commercial endeavors. I think of them as an early stage SpaceX that you're going to be able to invest in. Now, another SPAC that was under the radar when I compiled and shared this list with the 10X tribe last week, which you can join in the link below for free, was PaySafe, which is going public under the ticker BFT. Now, it's blown up a little bit since then, but they're still undervalued for what I think they are. And essentially, they're a fintech business and like a smaller version of Stripe. This is a record-breaking SPAC that priced the company $9 billion pro forma. And frankly, the whole online payments and banking thing is really hot at the moment. Now, I don't expect them to compete with PayPal, but if it keeps growing as it is, I think they'll definitely be acquired. And we all know how acquisitions pay off. I mean, just look at Salesforce, which just bought Slack for $28 billion, which was valued half of that a week before the offer. Now, another industry that's really hot, growing really fast right now is online betting and gambling. Now, it's being a little bit overshadowed by the EVs, but I think SPACs are quickly diversifying in different directions. And when people understand that this industry is a sure thing, I expect healthy returns. Now, the company that I think is doing really well in this space is Genius Sports, under the ticker DYMD. And essentially, they're the pipeline provider of all this data that's making online gambling and sports betting possible. In fact, they're the world's second largest supplier of this data. So again, I think this is a really cool and high conviction play, and one I think is going to continue to do well into the future. And so another cloud and data play is E2Open, which is a global business-to-business supplier of cloud-based artificial intelligence on-demand SaaS platforms, specifically for supply chains. And they're going public under the ticker PCPL. Their customers include Microsoft, Nvidia, Facebook, Google, AMD, Boeing, Unilever, Nike, UPS, and a ton of other top companies. I think they're flying well under the radar and they have huge potential to disrupt a $45 billion market. Quite frankly, their valuation is a discount compared to their peer competitors, and I don't expect their SPAC price to be as cheap as it is for much longer. Now, speaking a little bit more about AI-based companies, one that I think is super cool is STEM, which is under the ticker STPK, and it's all about battery optimization AI. Now, it's really complex stuff, but it ticks all the boxes for the current speculative market. And I think they're going public right at the right time, especially with all this focus on EVs and how to make them more efficient. So I really expect some good things out of this one, and I really think it's an exciting play. Now, the last couple SPACs are pre-announcement, which by definition are going to be under the radar, quite frankly because they haven't announced a letter of intent as it relates to which company they're going public with. But as far as I'm concerned, these have all the right fundamentals to make them very possible high return plays. The first is IPOF, which is SPAC number 6 from Chamath. and it raised over $1 billion before their IPO 2 months ago, making it one of the largest SPACs ever. And it's helmed by arguably the most experienced SPAC manager out there, making it a very interesting play, especially as Chamath's earlier SPACs, like IPOC and IPOB, are currently on fire right now. So I'm really excited for where this one goes. And if you need some validation of that, well, just look at how ARK is buying up as much of Chamath's SPACs as they can. But another large SPAC that I'm really excited about is ACTC, which is focused entirely on sustainable energy, which I think is about to explode, and I think is going to be a really hot sector next year. So I'm looking for as many SPACs in that space as possible, and this one checks all the boxes. But if you wanted something a little bit more familiar, well, I would definitely suggest checking out PDAC, because all my research points to a merger with an EV company in Q1 of 2021. Now, it could be announced anytime, but my thought is that this will run just like VGAC in the near future. They had a big IPO raised, and they have a super energy-focused board. Lastly, the one that's getting me really excited right now is Fuse, F-U-S-E. They have a fintech focus, and they have exciting possible targets. And essentially, fintech is super hot right now, and I think this is going to be a breakout winner in early 2021 that everybody wished they saw earlier, but I'm telling you about right now. So that's my list for some of the under-the-radar SPACs. And again, if you wanted to see this list earlier, I published this last week in our 10X tribe, which again is free to join, and it's where I share all my best research. We have a huge community of like-minded traders all about finding these opportunities first, and taking your trading to 10X and beyond. So if you'd like to begin your 2021, winning more trades, making more money, well, then the 10X tribe is right for you. So come join us, and I'll see you there. But until the next video, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and take care out there. Cheers.